Welcome to Too Deep, Hokies Under the Influence. And it is Virginia Tech. This isn't some rinky-dink-ass program.
Come on, JC.
We're going to put this old guy in the grade. We'll go over some of the stats really fast.
It's the percent.
11.
It's an 11 game.
Welcome to Too Deep, Hokies Under the Influence, a Sons of Saturday podcast. I'm your host, Pete B. I've got my co-host, Sam Jesse, here. And Virginia Tech beat the bye week, Sam. This is a Sons of Saturday podcast. We are brought to you by Jack and Coke, and we're victorious over the bye week. At least I feel like we were.
Yeah, I mean, nobody got arrested, no major injuries, no scandals.
I have to check on the Pavia brothers.
Yeah. Well,
after that LSU win.
I mean, you can go back to their College Football Monday episode. We talked a little bit about Vanderbilt and Pavia, and they have a really big game. Another one at home against Mizzou coming up. But yeah, Tech survived. Mm-hmm. Good. I mean, we heard from Monty today in the presser, and he's nailed coach speak, man. He's nailed it.
Definitely. Well, listen, man, let's get this thing kicked off. We got a bunch of stuff to get to, even though we don't have voicemails and we don't have a game to recap. We're going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to do some beer and get on with it. So give us a cheers.
My cheers is to spooky season, Pete. I am one of those people who loves Halloween. And you can see here on the screen, if you're watching on YouTube, which you should be because it's awesome. We got a cool little design going on right here. You want to tell the people about that?
Yeah, I was working on that with the artist to try to make something fun. And so we're going to make a t-shirt. Let me pull this down. I'll show you the imagery. And I put this on our Instagram. It says Tech Till We Die, if you're not watching on YouTube. And it's got a skeleton drinking orange beer, the same color orange that's on our logo. It's kind of dripping all over him. And you got the Too Deep t-shirt. And so this is something we are going to get on a t-shirt. And it'll hopefully be up in the next couple of days by the end of the week kind of thing. And then it can be available for purchase at thesouthwestvashop.com. I was talking to Jason this week. Great guy. Always helps us out. We have a couple of our designs already on the site, but this is going to be a little Halloween flavor that you can kind of carry through all year round. And like Sam said, it's on our overlay. It's
pretty freaking metal. I've shared with a few friends who are pretty stoked about it. So,
well, we are ready to go here, man. Tonight, we're going to talk about Friday night's Cal game in Lane Stadium. We will be there. That's going to be awesome. We will also get into just a little bit more coach talk. Sam's going to kill me, but there was one name I wanted to go over tonight that we didn't discuss at all last night on College Football Monday. And yes, we are coming to you just one day early because the game is one day early. Make sure to like the video and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube and taking in the new artwork for spooky season. Midday on Friday, Sam. The goal is for us to be downtown, right? Like we can hang out for a little bit downtown and then head up to the tailgate with your fam and, meet up with some other people. Maybe hit the German Club tailgate for a minute if I'm able to do that with Billy and Pat and them too. But it's always fun to bounce around on the game day. But we are hoping to be downtown for a bit, either at Sharky's or Tots. We will get that on the socials and stuff. So if you are going to be in town in the middle of the day, you'll probably run into me, Billy Ray, Sam, and some other friends in the bars downtown. And we'll make that information known to you as soon as we know where we're going to be. But it's going to be fun. News and notes. The Pick'em leaders. Our very own Zach Osmond still in first, 50 and 30, still killing it. Trav D 33 in second with 48. So it's 50 in first place, 48 wins in second place. Some Spread who performed very well last year, and U3 West are tied for third with 47. I had an 8-2 week. I am back in the mix. I am 44 and 36. So I'm 6 points behind Zach, and I'm in 12th. So I'm in striking distance now, but it's going to be hard to catch him.
I'm not doing as well in this pick'em. I have another pick'em that I'm in third. I'm doing pretty well in. So we're going to keep going. And then on my picks that I've put on Twitter, my actual bets that I'm betting out there, we're over 15 units positive right now. So we're on track for the drive for 25.
Okay, then. That's pretty good stuff. Now, in your pick'em that you're in third, how many people, roughly?
13, 14.
Okay.
All right. 5 picks a week.
That's it? 5?
Yeah, only the big games, too.
Oh, wow.
And then like one prop bet for the big game. So shout out Grant who listens, and he put all that together. I'm in it with like my sister and brother-in-law and a bunch of friends, and it's competitive, dude. It's really tight.
With that few of games, you really got to nail them.
Oh, yeah.
That's tough. I do one that's 25 picks a week. And I like the kind of scatter shot of that because a lot of times my favorite plays or my most confident plays end up being the ones I lose. It's funny how that works, but I'm in 12 out of like 147 right now in that. And I won that one last year. And it's my
I'll knock on some wood for you.
Little humble brag there, I guess. Or maybe not so humble, but I want to win again. It was a nice chunk of change last year. And if you can, the pride of beating over 100 people in a pick'em is definitely better than the money.
That's pretty sick.
Sure
that's it's these like college football pick'ems against the spread are crapshoots for the most part. If you're picking only the big games and like not games that you can kind of go find an edge, it's tough, man.
Well, I do have one. We do the Tuesday night games. As soon as they become available on the season, they add them to our pick'em. So I'm on Kennesaw tonight, and
we talked about Kennesaw.
It's going well. We did last night. We sure did.
They got some
influenced
ballers.
my pick because they're a good team. They're up 24-7 right now on the road. All right, CFB Monday already in your feed. Talked about a lot of coaching candidates. Shane, Franklin, our top guys, all the hits. We gave our candidates that we like in order. It's good stuff. Urge you to listen to that. I did cut VT Corner where you'll find all that juicy coaching information. Someone we didn't talk about, though, because he wasn't in our top 3 or 4 candidates for either me or Sam, was Manny Diaz. This is a name that, for whatever reason, has come up a lot in tech circles. BRM likes him a lot. Irby likes him a lot. That's Robert Irby, who joins us from time to time. And Doug Bowman over at 247 likes Manny as well. Lots of people we know and respect are Manny guys. Others are pretty indifferent, and that's kind of where I fall. Sam, where do you stand on Mr. Diaz?
So Manny Diaz is a very good football coach. I think that is a statement of fact at this point. He is a really good defensive mind. I'm a little bit hesitant to bring him in from Duke. I think he has kind of hit the jackpot with quarterbacks twice in a row. Not as much last year, but it worked out. And like the other parts of their team were good enough to make it work. And their schedule kind of worked for him. They won a lot of close games this year. He got a boatload of NIL money and spent it all on a quarterback. And it's working out. Now, are they winning a bunch of games? Are they going to be competing for an ACC title this year? No, but he is a really good coach. And there's a lot of parts about his defenses that are very reminiscent of the Bud Foster lunch pail defense. We've talked about Havoc a lot, and his defenses are perennially some of the best in the country. Currently, Duke is second in the country in Havoc rate. If you look at them last year, they were they finished the season last year 13th. Was he at Duke in 2023?
He was not. He was at Penn State in 2023.
Oh, yeah, because they were number 1 in Havoc rate in 2023. In 2022, Penn State was 6th in Havoc rate. So like every single one of his defenses, tackles for loss, turnovers, passes defended.
Interesting.
QB hurries, all of it. Like they play like menaces. And it's what has allowed Duke to kind of punch above their weight talent-wise. And you see it when you see the game. I mean, Georgia Tech, all those wide receiver screens and delayed handoffs that they like to run, they got blown up. And that's why Duke had some success in that game. So Manny Diaz, schematically, I really, really like him. I'm not sure if the whole operation, I'm totally sold on that yet. However, it would be a good hire for Virginia Tech. Overarching thought, good hire.
Yeah, I said, and so where did that kind of put him? Because we didn't mention him last night. Is he he's after Summerall for you? Like he's probably 5, 6, 7. Is he ahead of Bob Chesney?
He's ahead of Bob Chesney for sure.
Okay.
He's ahead of Ryan Silverfield. I would put him, it was probably an accidental omission. I probably should have him, depending on the day, between number 3 and number 5.
So, okay.
I don't think he goes above James Franklin and Dan Mullen. I don't think he goes there.
Gotcha. I would probably have him right behind Franklin. So Franklin was my 4. That would make Manny about 5. And I'd have to evaluate a couple other candidates because I didn't really think that far ahead. But I'm not a Manny guy because, I mean, he was at Miami. People remember that tenure.
Yes.
And Miami was obviously a little bit of a mess. They've been a structural mess for a long time. However, they've always had athletes, and He was fired
Yeah.
after going 7-5 in 2021. His
He
best
was-
season was 2020, where he went 8-3 and
Doesn't count.
Finished
Doesn't
number
count.
22 in the country. I know 2020 is a weird year, but that's all the more reason. Like his best season was a year that a lot of people want to throw out at Miami. And they lost to a lot of teams at Miami that the talent shouldn't have lost to. So that would be a concern because that's a big boy job and he was fired. Then he goes to Penn State and was picked up right where Pry left off. I mean, he had, and maybe even better. Like he had that defense with a ton of high talent 4-star guys going crazy, like you just said.
I mean, his best year was last year at Duke. They went 9-4. Of those 9 wins, 6 of them were by 1 possession.
That's nice, but did you see the teams that they beat? I know 9 wins should not be dismissed, but you know that Duke schedules nothing out of conference.
Best win that year was at NC State.
It was us, I think.
Were we a better win? Maybe.
We were 4-4
with our third string quarterback.
We were the only ACC team that Duke beat that finished 500 in ACC play.
Wow. And it was with Pop and Tech lost by 3.
Right. When we had our
because Brent Pry fucked up the end of the first
half.
Well,
the defense was atrocious. It was Chris Marv like at his worst.
But that was the I'm in the portal now game for a first round guy.
Yeah. And Malik Murphy giving us the double birds. So yes, Manny won 9 games last year, but I urge you to look at the schedule like Elon, Northwestern, UConn, Middle Tennessee State. Then you had UNC, awful coach, fired. FSU, awful season. NC State, new young quarterback. VT, backup quarterback, and wasn't a good team. Wake fired their head coach. So, like, they didn't beat a single good team. Manny doesn't have a single good win at Duke.
2 things. One, probably their best one was actually UConn last year. UConn went 9-3.
Okay, fine.
Second, the biggest crowd they played in front of was 60,000 at Miami.
Yeah, I mean it's the ACC. With regard to that, yeah. I mean,
goodness.
When I was looking over his career, I was trying to find the good win, and there isn't really a good win at Duke. And I talked about this with Dan a little bit. Elko is such a good coach.
Very good.
He left that place better than he found it. And Manny was able to come in on a defensive guy's stuff. He's a defensive guy too. That seems like an easier transition. And he picked up right where he left off. Again, winning 9 games at Duke sounds difficult, but when you consider the investment that they've made and the schedule that they play in the out of conference, like winning 8 games, 7, 8, 9 games at Duke, like is becoming the norm because they're staffed up like the best of the ACC. I mean, they're paying top dollar for their last 2 quarterbacks. They bought Manny, Malik Murphy, who was a high-priced NIL guy, and as well as Mensa, who we know is extremely expensive, one of the most expensive quarterbacks in the country. And so you add that to his defensive prowess, shouldn't he be a little bit better than 4-3?
Yeah, I think he's a case of elite coordinator who is the head coach now. Recruiting is a big question mark. Like, I don't think his recruiting at Miami was quite what we've seen other coaches recruit at Miami. And they're not recruiting at Duke. And there's different reasons for that. But it does seem a bit like he's very reliant right now on the portal. And you haven't seen him win a lot of big games. But if Duke pulls off a good, last third of the season and Tech swings and misses on a couple guys, like, I don't know, man. He's only making like $4 million a year at Duke. Tech can definitely up that. Tech will up that significantly. Like, you're going to make him say no to a bigger program and an extra $3 million a year if you get to that point on the list.
Yeah. So we're going back to the Penn State defensive coordinator. Well,
so, I mean, we'll play this game real quick. Like, the Manny Diaz for $7 million or Alex Golish for $7 million.
Golish.
Okay. Manny Diaz for $7 million or Ryan Silverfield for $7 million.
See, that's a much tougher call for me.
Yeah.
I like Silverfield a lot. And I'm not just talking about because they lost to UAB. I mean, he has very few losses over the last couple
very
years.
few.
And he beat Arkansas this year. What I would like to have seen out of Manny is to beat Tulane, or at least not get your ass kicked by Tulane, which they did. They were competitive against Georgia Tech. And I do think like the defense hits really hard. They play tough.
They do.
But there's also like a lot of sloppiness and a lot of gaps and holes.
You can score against them.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yes, the havoc is there, but like there's also a lot of mistakes. Like the Illinois game was a freaking mess. Like that was a mess by Duke. And they might have beat Illinois if they just weren't so sloppy. And then the GT game, GT's probably a better team. Duke was in it for a bit. I'm left wanting more out of this tenure. And I don't want to hear like it's Duke, because this is not Duke from 2006. This is not that.
Manny Diaz for 7 or Shane Beamer for 9. Because you want big wins. You want big wins from Manny Diaz, and I'm giving you big wins. Here, I'll phrase it this way. I think
I'd take Manny.
Do you think that's if these G6...
It's not like I dislike Manny Diaz. I don't.
Yeah.
I just think he could do more, and he might do more.
I mean, if that committee, I'm doing air quotes for people who aren't watching on YouTube.
We've done a lot of air quotes these last 2 episodes.
Sorry.
But,
I'm just incentivizing. I'm incentivizing
me
YouTube views.
Yeah.
If they go in and they say we need power conference head coaching experience, need it, 100% need it. Like, they will have a decision point between Manny Diaz and Shane Beamer. And they will have a decision point between Manny Diaz and Dan Mullen. They will have a decision point between those and James Franklin. And it's going to be
seem like you have a preference in terms of an offensive guy or a defensive guy.
I want an offensive guy.
You do want an offensive guy.
I want an offensive
guy. But that's not preventing you from going after a Diaz if it fell to that.
No, because if we're getting to that point on the list, it does feel like day 3 of the draft, draft best available player. It does feel like that. And I don't think Virginia Tech fans want to be there, but the reality of what this coaching search is going to look like and what the market looks like, I don't know if Tech is in a position unless that candidate also wants Virginia Tech.
Yeah. One guy that we've also not mentioned, and maybe we should be, and we're not going to do list after list. I may ask you about a coordinator in a second, but Charles Huff.
Yeah.
When this search first started, his name popped up, and I think it popped up last time too. He's doing well. I mean, he won the Sun Belt last year, right? And then
with a team that was not good.
Right. He got them going at the second half of the season. And then he goes to Southern Miss, which seemed like a downgrade of a job, but he was just done with Marshall and had already accepted it. And now he's winning there. They're about to go over on their win total. So that's someone to like keep. He's not in the upper echelon of my choices, but like it's someone that should be considered.
Yeah, I think he's a good football coach. I don't think in this stage of what Virginia Tech needs right now, I don't think that's the kind of guy you go after. Mm-hmm. For me, Huff, a guy like Charles Huff would be a good, can we poach a sitting head coach to be a coordinator? Like, we want a big time coordinator who has recruiting experience and has been around winning football and can I think that is more of where you'd bring in a guy like Charles Huff, maybe not Charles Huff, but a guy like that.
Mm-hmm. Like a G5 sitting head coach who wants to maybe be a P5 head coach, and the stepping stone is being a coordinator.
Yes. Or who just doesn't want, if you're going to bring in the GM as well, I think it's fine to bring in one of your coordinators who's just I'm not really an NIL. I'm not doing that game. I think it's fine to bring one of those guys in, not 2 or 3, but you can bring one of those guys in if it means you get a better X's and O's football coach. But that's kind of the game that this GM committee, AD, whoever the heck you or me, if they ask us to do anything for it, like we're like somebody's gonna have to.
I don't think anyone's asking me to do shit, Sam. Not after these last 2 weeks.
Pete, if they would have just give you and me a headset and a clipboard, we would have had all of this figured out. I'm telling you.
They pay these search firms a lot of money.
They do.
And I'm so curious as to like what goes into that. Like, are they just sitting on Wikipedia like we do and like win-loss records? Who did they work under? Or are they like, I'm assuming there's like a lot of agent back and forth.
I think it is. I think they bring in these other search firms to kind of do a little of the dirty work. Like, what's this person like as a, what's their track record? Do they have any skeletons in the closet?
Fair.
Pun intended for
there you go.
The show. I think that's what those search firms do, but they're going to like gloss over it in a very HR corporate Deloitte KPMG like consulting type way. But I think that's what they do more than anything. I don't think you hire the search firm to be like, well, what are some of his principles with the 3-4 defense? I don't think they do that.
So do you have a coordinator favorite? Did we talk about this already? We've talked about so much coaching crap. Like if you had to take a coordinator, like we're not going, we've fallen and we've missed on all these head coaching candidates.
Like Hartline from Ohio State.
That would be higher than like Buster Faulkner or who's
DC at Tennessee.
Schumann.
Schuman's
the big
Georgia.
one at Oregon.
Will Stein.
Will Stein, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could. I think I would need somebody like the absolute number one. And for me right now, it's probably Brian Hartline in terms of recruiting as well. But
what about Colin Klein? I find that name intriguing because one, he's like kind of a famous college football player.
Yeah.
He's working under Elko.
Yeah.
He's offensively gifted. He's their offensive coordinator. Like he's
Texas to VT.
He's a quarterback. Texas to VT.
Bring it back.
Back
from the dead.
Yeah. He was a Kansas State quarterback for people who aren't aware of Colin Klein. Dan was calling him Optimus Klein, which I think was one of his nicknames back in the day.
That's pretty good. I mean, the coordinator thing would be really, really risky. And I just don't. There's a couple that it's like, oh, that's kind of fun. I don't think it's a risk that's going to be discussed.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't even think that's going to make it onto the table to be discussed.
We'll just keep going down the head coach list.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, before we get to Cal and maybe a beer break, Two Deep Hokies Under the Influence is brought to you by Jack and Coke. You can see that can on your screen. Two legends, one can, Jack and Coke. The #1 cocktail in the world is now available in a can. It's been available in a can. You can get Jack Daniel's Tennessee whiskey mixed with Coca-Cola or Coca-Cola Zero Sugar at your local grocery and convenience stores. They also have Jack and Vanilla, Jack and Cherry, a bunch of other varieties. And you can get the variety pack with the plain, the cherry, and the vanilla all in one box. They are delicious. Every time I have a Jack and Coke, it reminds me of being in the bars in Blacksburg because that is where I drank so many of my first Jack and Cokes. Now, I may have partook in a few prior to being bar age. However, something about having a Jack and Coke inside of Tots, just like the nostalgia comes flooding back.
Maybe we'll do that Friday.
We might have to.
You never know.
We might have to.
Throw some in the cooler as well for the tailgate.
Yeah, absolutely. Grab some of those Jack and Cokes, throw them in the cooler, easy to bring to the tailgate. And when you're having those Jack and Cokes, please drink responsibly. Are you drinking tonight, Sam? You still taking a break?
We're taking a little break. I actually got some coffee.
Oh.
Late night coffee. I have it in the Bigfoot mug.
In the Bigfoot mug. Nice.
Yeah, to keep with the theme.
This is what I'm doing over here. This is called Gord's Mist Farm Truck Brewing, which I always have liked Farm Truck's script. They do a really good job. They're out of Medford, New Jersey, which is a suburb of Philadelphia. It's just the next town over. You've got Mount Laurel, Marlton, and Medford. I live in Marlton, but Medford has a bunch of new, breweries right on their main street. They've got a new Magnify Brewing. They've got Farm Truck. They've got Kings Road. Kings Road I've had on the show before. Really good stuff. But this Farm Truck is one my cousin Sean brought over, and it's a cream ale, 4.99%. It's light. It's fine, not a ton of pumpkin. Like, it's really just like if you hand this to someone, you're like, oh, kind of like a spiced cream ale. You would never pick up the pumpkin. The description says, grab your best flannel and head down to the local pumpkin patch with a can of
that
Gourd's
sounds
Mist.
nice.
Our cream ale PSL'd. So it doesn't have the sweetness of a PSL, nor does it have a ton of the pumpkin flavor, but it's a perfectly good, tasty beer to drink. You're getting under 5%, so you can have a few of them, and they do such a good job with their naming and their artistry. Really love Farm Truck. If you're ever in this area, I would check them out. Their IPAs are phenomenal. I'm going to probably bring you one of the IPAs I have in the fridge. Like, I brought you one of the Treehouse last time. I got a different one I want to share with you.
I'll surprise you. I'll surprise you with one, and we'll do like a beer swap, beer review.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love that. Maybe we could even get it on camera and post it.
Always be making content. ABCs, always be contenting.
We're in that business of content and posting. We're hoping
for better
to do
or worse.
A couple of things when we get down there. I'm going to hang out with Coach Holmes on Thursday. We might record something. Billy Ray from the Airbnb. That could be weird and wacky. Maybe we'll do something there. And then, of course, me and Sam, when we get together, we might crack open the mics. But for now, Sam, we got to move to Cal. 10:24 Friday night on ESPN, the mothership, 7:30 p.m. We don't often get on the mothership. We've been on there a couple times. I think we were on there against South Carolina, but this is an opportunity to get eyeballs. And then a game over the summer, which we didn't think we'd be in jeopardy of like being in a scary game, to the point that we talked about it. Billy posted it and the algorithm took hold of that video in the last 2 days. I've been getting roasted out there.
Yeah. I mean, this is one where I think both teams have kind of gone in totally opposite directions from where we thought they were going to be preseason. We thought Cal was going to be terrible. They're not terrible. We thought Virginia Tech was going to be not terrible. We're terrible. So it's one that's really balanced out. And then here we are. The spread is within a field goal. I think it's a really close toss-up game. So yeah, man, this is not what we thought it was going to be a few months ago.
No. And we're hoping to get some of those 21 players that missed the Georgia Tech game back for this one. I don't know how many it's going to be, but we got to cut that number into the teens at the very least.
The very least.
There was some news on Thomas Williams that his injury is not season ending and that he's working his way back. Didn't necessarily sound like he'll be back for this one.
That sounds like a no.
Yeah. But some of the other guys, like the offensive lineman, Terrion Stewart, all the people that have like the nicks that might have had to sit out the last second, like Jaden Keller, hopefully some of those guys can play this upcoming weekend, because that's going to make the difference. I did find it interesting of what the line was, which was Virginia Tech is favored. We'll talk a little bit more about that later, but does that lend itself to maybe we have a few more guys back than we had out versus Georgia Tech?
I mean, without like significant injuries to any of these guys, and you know, there have been no ACL tears, pec tears, or anything like that, you'd expect them to be ready to go after a bye week. So there's no reason for us to think that the injury list will be that long, but I just don't know with these guys this year. I really don't.
So if you guys want to call in during the game, remember the reaction line is 540-251-2169. Don't want any voicemails to remind you, so I just wanted to get that out there. This is our first taste of the Calgorithm and Cal since we joined the ACC, or should I say, since they joined the ACC last year and since we joined. I still can't believe we're playing an ACC conference game against
Cal,
the California Golden Bears.
Ridiculous.
We actually interviewed Rob Wang last year on College Football Monday when the Calgorithm was first getting its legs and they were going to host game day. We had already scheduled a Cal guy to come on our pod, and Rob was kind enough to come on even though they got game day and talk all about it. And it was a really fun interview. And we went over like how it started and like how it came about and all that kind of stuff. And you guys remember the memes from last year. This year, you're probably not seeing as many, but they're still out there. Like they will attack tweets, as I've witnessed in the last 2 days. They'll find stuff from the other team and they will attack it.
I give credit to them. It's pretty fun. And it's all like, it's so over the top that it isn't mean spirited. It's just like for the love of the game.
Yeah, you can't be upset about getting roasted. It's just kind of like a badge of honor at this point.
Exactly.
The memes, the quotes, the woke agenda jokes and stuff. The "Ought to Go" song. Do you remember "Ought to Go"?
I do
when they
remember
made
Ought
the
to Go.
song?
I remember the Church of Oski from like the OG Calgorithm before they were good. The Church of Oski.
The Comrade Oski.
Incredible. They've always been like a weird active fan base. And they got like in the mainstream last year. So they've always been there.
The big thing
And
that kind of brought them to the limelight was when they were going to play Florida State, I feel like, because that was the woke Campbell Stadium. And like that meme went crazy. Let's learn critical race theory. Like that was so
I mean, they
funny.
beat Auburn. Like they went to
Yeah,
Auburn.
they beat
and
Auburn.
Beat Auburn.
That's what kind of launched it. Yeah.
And that was part of it. Game day went there. And I believe they came out this year and said having game day there is still having such a positive impact for people applying to the school and people
Really?
donating. Yes, like they have that amount of visibility really changed the trajectory of their football program. And they had a weird offseason again with like NIL stuff and guys transferring and like power struggle and all. But here they are. They're not terrible. And so credit
You're going to credit. Yeah. I mean, the Calgary has been one of the funniest, most creative, most perfect versions of what college football weirdness is all about. Like it is just so great. And I'm happy we're getting to play them. I wish we were having a little bit better of a season in the process, but it's cool. So coming into this year, there was a lot of chatter about how much of a mess they were, as Sam just alluded to. Lindy's picked them 100th in FBS because of how much of a power struggle and all that, the Ron Rivera thing, who's in charge type stuff. Both portal windows wrecked shop on their running back room, their wide receiver room. They sent 2 quarterbacks to ACC media days because they didn't know who their starter was going to be. So every bit of the offseason, right up until we got to playtime, it didn't seem like it was going to go well for Cal. And they go out there and they win their first 3 games. They beat Minnesota. They're sitting at 5-2 right now, Sam. 2-1 in the ACC. They lost to Duke and they just beat UNC and they had beaten BC. So the 2 wins are against 2 of the worst teams in the conference, but be that as it may, they're sitting at 5-2 against an easy schedule, and they can only play the 7 teams that are in front of them.
Yeah, I mean, I give a lot of credit to them. True freshman quarterback who they brought in, Jaron Kiawe Sangapula-Tele.
Perfect.
Jaron Kiawe is his first name, and then its last name is Sangapula-Tele.
Yeah. I've been practicing Sangapula-Tele. I've been kind of ignoring the first 2 parts. Is Cal actually good?
They're probably mediocre.
Okay.
Like, I mean, this team got blanked by San Diego State. Now, we talked about last night, San Diego State, not a bad team, but they got blanked by them, right?
Yeah.
And so
that was a weird result.
That was a weird result, weird game. And then they turn around, they beat Minnesota. I do think for them, and this is maybe part of the betting line, having to travel all the way out there is a pretty big factor in the result of games. I firmly believe that now, especially if it's a night game. There just is something we just saw. I mean, Florida State's a dumpster fire, but Florida State went out to Stanford and lost. Miami went out there at night last year and probably should have lost that game. Minnesota goes out there and loses that game.
I mean, the travel thing is real.
The travel thing is real. Like, I think we can, overarching college football, the travel thing is real. Washington having issues, USC having issues, teams in the Big Ten going out west are having issues.
And Cal is traveling more than any other team in college football this year. Now, they haven't done all of the traveling yet, but they've done a lot of it. And so with a freshman quarterback and a team that travels that much, and us being on a bye just last week, like all of those things add up to like, that's kind of where the line is coming in at.
It feels like a schedule loss for Cal. If I'm putting it on the,
and we
if I'm from the
certainly
outside looking in,
hope that it is right. But in FPI, they're behind us actually. And I know you don't like FPI, so let's go to SP plus. SP plus 75. We are 91st. So they are ahead of us in SP plus. But what's funny is like for a team with 5-2, 5 wins, like 83rd and 75 kind of tells the story. Like they haven't played a very difficult schedule. Like almost every team on the schedule isn't good except for Duke. And
Yeah.
even Duke is like, we just talked about them. Like they're fine.
Yeah, I would say they're probably a team who, if you don't play your A game, they can beat you and they can probably punch above their weight. If you play your best game, you should feel like you can mano-a-mano handle pretty much every position group.
And with the freshman quarterback and maybe a defensive first team, there can be some wild swings. And that's why we see the Minnesota win, and then we immediately see them get shut out at San Diego State. I mean, that is bizarre. So Sagapulitelli has 12 TDs on the season. That's total, including running, 7 interceptions, putting up yards, but it has been a struggle for him as of late. The year started off great. Like I said, 3-0, beats Oregon State, beats Southern, beats Minnesota. And he had 6 touchdowns and 1 interception through those first 3 games. Since then, 4 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Like it has really not gone well for him lately.
I mean, he looks like a talented freshman quarterback, right? And that's what you expect. And there's not a ton of playmakers on this offense. We'll talk about the Jesus in a little bit, but there's not a ton of go-to guys for him.
No.
A stat we haven't talked about this year that I want to bring up, quality drive rate. And it's pretty much what it sounds like. A quality drive, you can measure that by gaining a first down and or scoring a touchdown, but gaining a first down inside the opponent's 40-yard line. So like pretty much you have the ball with a first down roughly in field goal range.
Okay.
Virginia Tech's offense is 88th in the country in the amount of drives
that are quality.
Cal is 112th.
Oh,
so there is like they can score, they can put up yards. They also have a lot of these like 3 and outs, 15, 16-yard drives that don't work out. And
yeah, I saw a lot of those against UNC. They did not look good this past game.
No, and there is like that's part of having a young quarterback, right? Like you don't make the right check at the line. You make one bad read on 2nd and 8, and now it's 3rd and long, and you have to punt. Like that's kind of part of what you get. I think this offense has potential, but if you look up and down their metrics, not that great, even before you account for the fact that they've played Oregon State and UNC and all that.
So on the season, JKS is 16th in the ACC in QBR. 16th. I think there are 19 qualified quarterbacks, so a couple more because Syracuse played 2. You get it. He has a 42.7 QBR in the year. Kyron's at 50. So Kyron Drones, who is facing tons of pressure and is a very, very mid to bad quarterback, his metrics are significantly worse. I find that pretty interesting and welcome, because we're going to have that freshman quarterback in Lane Stadium, and you can call the defense whatever you want. They can rush the passer. They can cause some trouble up front. The back end isn't good, but they can make a quarterback pay. Ben Bella hit you late.
Ben Bella hit you. I don't know when he's going to hit you, but he's going to hit you. Yeah, it does feel like the pass rush is the number one X factor for Virginia Tech in this game. If you can get after him, he can't do too much. Now, if you're like Oregon State and you can't rush the passer at all, he can pick you apart because he has a ton of arm talent. So that's going to be really key.
Not good. Like it's a very mediocre offensive line.
He has to play superhero a bit, and I give him a lot of credit for doing that in the first 7 games of his career.
Yeah, like Kendrick Raphael, the kid that came over from NC State as their running back, like he's a good to decent running back. I mean, 495 yards behind this offensive line, that's pretty impressive. I think they're 131 in rush yards per attempt. Like they do not run the ball efficiently, and he's taken some sacks, but I don't think it's excessive amount of sacks. It's maybe like 2 a game. So the fact that they're running the ball that poorly in average yards per rush is nice. You're going to force him to throw it, and maybe we can drop some more defenders back.
Yeah, I mean, this is not a team that I don't see them giving Virginia Tech's defense more issues than what we saw against Georgia Tech or what we saw against Vanderbilt or ODU or something like. I don't think they're that kind of offense. But again, it's happened with Virginia Tech where the opposing quarterback has the best game of their life. And this defensive backfield for Virginia Tech is terrible. It is just flat out terrible.
It's bad, yeah.
Even when they have all their guys there. And we don't really know who's going to be there. My guess is they're going to be down Thomas Williams. So you're probably going to be looking at some reshuffling in the back end.
JoJo
Krim is going to get out there a lot. Like Jordan Bass is going to need to be playing defensive back
Who's
a lot.
The other freshman. Will we see Deloach? Like, will we see?
I think you're going to see Deloach. Yeah. So you're like, in many ways, I think this is a spot where, Virginia Tech has a lot of things going for them in this game. And then I look at some other stuff. I'm like, JKS is probably licking his chops looking at this pass defense because Virginia Tech's been really bad on pass defense. 123rd in the country and expected points added per drop back. 106th in the country in defensive success rate against the drop back. So
yeah,
not a good pass defense in any stretch of the imagination.
I'm looking at just some of the names. Like Brennan Johnson has been out there making a tackle or two. Shelton Robinson. Obviously, Spencer and Bass, Isaiah Brown Murray, JoJo Krim, Noah Chambers, like Tyson Flowers. We're gonna see all of them. Like,
I mean, can Tech just play like 4 safeties?
they might, because we're running low on corners.
You might see a lot of zone coverage for Virginia Tech,
and they don't have like a ton of weapons, but Tron Grizzle and DeJesus, as you mentioned, are good players. DeJesus has 47 receptions. I mean, he's a shitload.
He's kind of their do-it-all guy. He was really good at UNLV and special teams, and as he was their like second receiver, but he's kind of like a little lightning bolt. It's pretty impressive player.
5'7" possession guy, 3 touchdowns, 406 yards. He's tied for 10th in the nation in receptions.
Yeah.
And at tight end, they got Mason Minnie, who actually has a decent amount of reception as well. Ironic last name there, but 27 receptions for 287 and 3 touchdowns for the tight end. So I don't even think they had like a scholarship tight end that we knew about over the summer. I don't know if they lost like everybody.
Everyone.
So this is impressive. I mean, their running back room, wide receiver room, tight end, like got decimated.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that they even have guys that are going out there and putting up numbers and winning these games, it's really impressive. The offensive line's not good, and I think that's an area we can expose, and it could make it for a long night on the freshman quarterback, which is what we're hoping for. Defensively, it's a Wilcox defense. You kind of know that you're going to get a tough defensive performance. They're not quite as good as they've been in some years past. They're 52 in the country in yards per play allowed.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have on the defense?
Yeah, it's going to be all about the Virginia Tech rushing game. So Cal defensively has been much better against the pass than they have against the run. They're 99th in the country in EPA per rush against them. Not good. Virginia Tech offensively, 23rd in that metric. In terms of success rate.
We defend the run well.
Oh, that's like Tech running the ball.
Oh.
Tech running the ball is 23rd. Virginia Tech running the ball 21st in success rate, right? Cal gives up a lot of big chunk runs, right? They give up those chunk runs because they're 119th in giving up yards after contact.
Oh, I like.
Do you want to know how many in yards after contact? How much, like, where's Virginia Tech's rank as an offense in yards after contact?
It's got to be pretty high because we don't block well.
Yeah, 4th.
Oh,
do you want to guess? This is crazy because after this week we got this spot. Missed tackle rate. How many missed tackles we taken?
Like
Terry and Stewart. Yeah. What do you think the rank is? Guess.
For just him or the whole running back core?
Whole team.
Oh, whole team. Top 5?
Number 1.
Number 1 in forced missed tackles?
Number 1, baby.
Because they don't have a choice because they're getting touched every single play.
Number 1. No, Pete. We don't need a disclaimer.
Oh, okay.
Number 1 in the country in missed tackle rate. Congratulations.
That is impressive.
Everybody.
Because that's not just Stewart. Like, Stewart's been hurt a lot of the year.
Yeah. So where I'm trying to like go towards here, the path I'm seeing, Virginia Tech is going to run the ball more than pass the ball in this game. They're going to hopefully run
Have
the
to.
ball with a healthy Terry and
Because we're going to
Stewart.
hopefully have a lead at some point.
That would be nice. That would be nice. And this is a Cal team that, although on a play-by-play basis, they're not bad against the run, 44th in success rate against the run. Again, 99th in those bigger plays and giving up expected points versus the run. So they do give up some big runs. Virginia Tech forces a lot of missed tackles. Cal gives up a lot of yards after contact, and it's not a great tackling defense this year, very mediocre in that realm. There is an opportunity. I think Virginia Tech is going to break some big runs with Stewart and with Hawkins, and maybe potentially with Kyron Drones as well.
Maybe Kyron
That's the
Drones,
game plan.
Maybe PJ. I mean,
I don't care who it is.
Yeah, PJ's made some moves after the catch and with the ball in his hands. The other more layman's stat is they're 99th in TFL per game and 108th in sacks per game. So this would be a game where Kyron won't be under relentless pressure, knock on wood. And if that's true, we should be able to complete a few passes. Now, their secondary is good. Like you said, that's the better side of their defense. It's 29th in opposing passer rating. Hezekiah Masses, like this guy's got to be in the NFL, like eventually. I mean, he's got 9 pass breakups, 4 interceptions through 7 games. He's really good. And then you got Cade Ulave, who is, I think he led them or was second in tackles last year. He's leading them in tackles this year, leads them in TFL. He has 5 pass breakups from what I think is the outside linebacker position, maybe will linebacker, 3 hurries. He's the best player on the defense. And then you have TJ Bush. Price, him and Masses are probably second and third. And like, he's a huge outside linebacker. They call him outside linebacker. I wonder how much he's playing edge, but he's 6'3", 265, TJ Bush, 4.5 tackles for loss, 3 sacks and 2 hurries. So those are just some guys to watch. The DL is the weak point. And that's what's nice for Virginia Tech. We need to be able to run the ball on this team, and there should be opportunities.
Yeah, I think there will be. And if you're Virginia Tech, I think you just have to go with the bread and butter plays. Don't try to get funky with it. Don't put Kyron in positions to make mistakes and to get down in the dumps and all that stuff. Like,
no bad body language.
Just
Friday night.
Run the damn ball. Run the damn ball, play action, some levels concepts, some quick wide receiver screens, maybe a few go routes on one-on-one coverage if you get it. But it needs to be almost by design a vanilla game plan. And maybe you pour a little hot fudge over that vanilla ice cream, but just keep it simple. All right. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I totally agree with all of that. Overall, I think Wilcox is a good coach. I always have admired what he's done out there. Harsin, who came in to be the OC, good offensive mind, but the young quarterback has hit a wall, so to speak, the last few games. And he'll be coming into what I still think will be a very hostile environment this Friday night, despite the season we're having. So.
It's going to be probably the toughest he's played in.
Yeah,
for sure. And so that might be a big time positive for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, and you add in the fact that their offensive line isn't good. We should be able to pressure him, rattle him, and get home on some sacks. If San Diego State can shut them out, I know our defense has struggled, but like, can we give up 17? Like, can we give up 13?
Well, that's what I was saying is I think this game is the best chance for Virginia since Old Dominion. It's the best chance for Virginia Tech's offense to put up some points, to maybe, hopefully, potentially score 30. What do you think Tech needs to get to? What's the number?
I think if we get to 30, we win. I think.
Okay.
I even think. I'm looking at, like, if I look at their past scores. Yeah, they have not, like, 28 seems like the line for them. So 30 would get the dub, but you might win with 27 or 28.
I'm right about there. This game's probably going to hit game total of like 50 somehow.
Yeah, I mean, it's sometimes these things go unpredictable, but like, it just based on the matchup, it's a favorable matchup for Virginia Tech. It's why the line is the way it is. Can we get some players back healthy? Because if they are, like, they haven't been tested much defensively. Duke dropped 45 on them, and they got Mensa and whatnot, but like
Yeah.
it's not like the best offense I've ever seen. So like what can we do if we just stick to the run and let Kyron sit back there? Because when he's not pressured, he has a lot better opportunity to throw the ball well.
I will also say when they played Minnesota, I should have brought this up. That was their true freshman quarterback's first road game and really his first game against a decent opponent.
Yeah.
So I'll put
With
that
the
caveat
travel.
in there as well. Yep.
So they've already traveled a bunch, as we already said. More worn down than the average team. They just played, we didn't. And it's our last best chance for a win. I think the guys are going to be juiced up for the home stadium
I don't think
night
effort's going to be
game
an issue.
environment. Yeah.
Effort, energy, not going to be the issue.
So I don't feel good about the win because I just don't know what we'll have, but it's a very winnable game. Like if things go the way and we have the right guys available, it's a winnable game. We're favored by 4.5. I think the fans will undoubtedly show up because they just do that. And hey, this is the only game I'm going to this year. You're going to be there. The other boys will be there. Like it's going to be a fun night. Like it's going to be a fun night for a lot of people. So let's get the dub, man.
Let's do it, dude. Let's just
wanna,
do it. What if they just do it?
Huh? What if they just won a football game?
That'd be sick.
Yeah. I mean, I could go for that. Before we do our picks against the spread from the pick'em, I want to remind you that we are also brought to you by Roback. You guys know Roback, the performance activewear designed for those who crave activity. You can use code 2DEEPVT to get 20% off your order. Get a polo, grab your significant other, the polo or the hoodie or the quarter zip from their school because they got them all, and get that 20% using code 2DEEPVT, all one word. They also have shorts and joggers and tons of comfortable stuff. Their hoodies are amazing. Go to the site, load up your cart, use code 2DEEPVT for 20% off. And you can also use code 2DEEPVT at Compass Coffee, which is all over Nova and DC. But you can go to their website and use the code as well. Order some coffee right to the house. Use code 2DEEPVT.
I'll have to get some to have on the show.
Do you drink decaf this time of night? Or do you drink full calf? Or is that tea?
I don't believe in decaf coffee.
Okay. So you like at 9:30 at night, you'd rock some caffeinated coffee.
Like the amount of caffeine I get in a cup of black coffee is more of like it like keeps me level-headed.
That's a steady state.
That's the steady state. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like that. I respect that because I enjoy an evening cup of coffee, especially if down partying like down at Blacksburg. You know, you get the 8:00 cup and then hit the bars for some action.
Yeah.
All right, picks against the spread. These are from the pick'em lines and games. I got 5 of them here. Not the best games of the weekend, but some fun ones. UVA at UNC. UNC plus 9.5 at home against the Who's. This is the South's oldest rivalry, correct?
Mm-hmm. This
is
not
the Deep South, the South's.
But the South's oldest rivalry. Yeah. And it's kind of a weird game because UNC had 3 turnovers and lost close at Cal. UVA's been playing with fire like you wouldn't believe.
Oh my God. If UVA loses this game.
It's so like if UNC wasn't such an absolute dumpster fire embarrassment, you would pick UNC in a heartbeat, like easy upset. But the fact that they look so dysfunctional, and I do feel like last week was maybe their chance to right the ship and get some momentum, and they still couldn't score and hold on to the football. I don't know, man. I'm going to go with UVA just because I feel like I've seen this movie before. Actually, what's the spread? Is it? It's like
9.5. It's big.
Man, give me Carolina.
Carolina showed a little bit of something. And if they didn't fumble at the goal line, literally at the goal line, they probably beat Cal.
Give me Carolina. Yeah.
I think I'm taking UNC too, and I hate myself for it. But I hate UVA. So, pick your poison here.
Mm-hmm.
Mizzou at Vandy. Vandy 3.5-point favorites yet again. They just beat LSU. So that makes me just a little bit hesitant. Like that's a big win for that program. Now they didn't celebrate it like crazy, but Mizzou's good. Like Mizzou's a really good team, especially look at SP Plus. Like they're really high up there. I think I'm going to take the points and I'm going to go with Mizzou here.
Me too. Mizzou played them really well last year and won that game. Defensively, Missouri is. I would say Missouri is probably the best team they've played defensively this year. Vanderbilt. I mean, I think Missouri has a better defense than Alabama does.
LSU's
And
got a good unit, but I think Missouri's probably a little bit
I
better.
think Missouri has the dudes that can like play their assignments while also going out and making sensational plays.
Yeah.
Alabama kind of did that, but Diego Pavi had the turnover bug. Mizzou in this one. Because do I think Vandy's going 11-1? No. So where's their next loss? Like, this is probably it.
Yeah. What Vandy's doing is just crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah. It'll be a great game.
Bama, yeah, it really will be. Bama at South Carolina. South Carolina 13.5-point underdogs at home. Does Shane get one of these 3 really big top 6 games?
Dude, I don't know.
Top 10 games.
I don't know. I put a flyer on South Carolina money line last week. It didn't work. They didn't score anything. I'm going to do it again because it's 13.5 points at Williams-Brice Stadium. And I don't care. If you know
one of
ball,
those college
that's
football
too many
spots.
points.
It's one of these college football spots where it
is.
It's like an upset wouldn't shock you, but South Carolina's offense has been so bad.
They have
it's been so bad. But Shane got feisty. There's rumors about Tech. Like, it is one of those college football spots where like it could happen. Now, a lot of people liked South Carolina last week against Oklahoma, and that did not work. Like, similar to what we just talked about. Like, everyone's like, oh, that's a beamer. That's a South Carolina moment. Like, they're just going to – and no. Oklahoma went in there and took care of their business. So, no defense is quite like that Oklahoma defense. I mean, that's a really good defense. But I'll take South Carolina. I don't feel great. About that. Houston at Arizona State. I really like this game because I like Willie Fritz. I like Houston. Feel like ASU found a little something as well.
ASU hasn't really been able to pull away from teams so far this year. Every game has kind of been a little closer than you think it should be. I think this is the game where Jordan Tyson has a huge game, like 150 yards receiving. Levitt does really well. Defense causes some turnovers. It's in the desert. Give me ASU.
They just beat a top 10 team.
They did.
That's what gives me just a little bit of pause because I was with, like, we talked about this last night a little bit. Like, I was kind of feeling you on that. Like, Houston's a little bit fake. Their record's a little bit fake.
Mm-hmm.
But Willie's a good coach, man. Like,
Willie's a great coach.
8.5. Like, I don't know. I'm going to take Houston because I was on them in the summer to go over. They've already done it. And I just feel like they can keep it within the number with ASU kind of trying to catch their breath after a huge win.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee at Kentucky. Kentucky plus 9.5. Now so what was more surprising? Kentucky plus 12.5 against Texas, which I found surprising, but I did take Kentucky and they damn near won the game. This is a tight line for this matchup. Like, I know Kentucky's not as bad as their record, but I don't know. What are you doing here?
I'm going Kentucky.
Yeah. I mean, it's screaming at you to take Tennessee, which means like you should probably take Kentucky.
Well, okay. So, but is that what they want you to think?
Is that what they want you to think? I know.
Here, let me flip it.
Let's just talk about the game though. Like,
what if Tennessee score? What did Tennessee score against Alabama? I mean, not a lot. I know they had the pick six on the goal line.
They
kind of
scored
threw
20.
it off. They scored 20.
They could have had, that pick six though was
so. Let's say Tennessee scores 31 points. Can Kentucky score 21 or more against this Tennessee defense?
The Tennessee defense isn't what I expected it to be.
No, but it's also the Kentucky offense.
Yeah, I know. They're pretty
yeah, I'm going Rocky Top. I'm going Tennessee. Dolly Parton, not dead. She was very adamant about that. Dolly Parton, not dead. I love you, Dolly. My queen. A Rocky Top minus 9.5.
Yeah, I feel like last week was Kentucky's spot, and it was, and they really should have and could have won the game, and they didn't. And now they got to do it again against another really good team. And it is Aguilar a better quarterback than Arch Manning right now?
I mean, dude, is Kyron Drones a better quarterback than Arch Manning right now?
So I'm going to go with Rocky Top as well on Tuesday, but my mind could change. That was a hard one. But some of the other spreads in the pick'em are really tough. Like the Wisconsin games in there.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's another 30-pointer. There's a few huge spreads in there.
Yeah, so it's Miami minus 30.5 at home against Stanford. I picked Stanford for the pick'em. 30 is just too many points. And then Oregon minus 34.5 against the Badgers.
Well, they haven't scored a point in 2 weeks.
Yeah. And Oregon's got those sick uniforms. Those are
they're doing the Grateful Dead uniforms.
That's at least a touchdown.
They just destroyed, like, what they did to Rutgers is hard to explain.
They were angry. I mean, they could have scored 80 points.
It was 35-0 after like
the first quarter.
Yeah, first quarter. Yeah.
I think Oregon is playing for style points.
Game. That's the spread in this game.
I think Oregon is playing for style points.
They're going to
Texas Tech also has a big spread. I think they're playing Oklahoma State. If you're a believer in teams will play for style points, Texas Tech is one to watch this week as well.
Yeah, I like Texas Tech. I'm taking Oregon on that spread.
I
mean, I like it's weird because like the one time, I mean, I've taken Oregon a few times this year, but you called it the Indiana won a system play, and that one kind of went against the system. But like in general, like it's like just take Oregon. They're gonna cover. Like that's been by and large the rule.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're going up against a team that just got shut out twice, seems wise. All right, it's been an hour. That's good. We did it, Sam. Another week in the books. Two Deep is done. I am leaving for Blacksburg in under 48 hours. I'm pretty psyched, dude. Got a bunch of stuff to do before that happens, but I am psyched. I'm kind of, you know what I'm most excited about? At least initially. Do you have an idea of what it could be? It involves food and drink.
Ooh, a calzone at the cellar. Am I right? Oh my God. It's my favorite thing. I want to get
that belly full of cheese as soon as I get into town.
I want to open up that calzone, crawl inside, and like tuck myself in. Oh my God. Yes.
Dude, the last time I had one there, it was just like perfectly golden brown, crispy. And it's weird because you're going to Blacksburg. I live in New Jersey, like the Mecca of Italian food, right? Mm-hmm. This in New York, like we have endless Italian restaurants.
Italy.
Okay. in the US
of Italian American food. Yes.
But that calzone at the cellar, like I would put it up against like anything I got in Jersey.
It's so good. I don't know how they do it.
It is really freaking good. Anyway, that's going to do it for the show. Make sure you're subscribed. Sons of Saturday on YouTube. Sons of Saturday on Apple Podcasts and Spotify if you want to follow Pat and Billy. And of course, the Two Deep feed on Spotify and Apple and wherever you get your podcasts. Set us up for automatic downloads. And even if you don't listen there, that would help us out. Likes, subscribing, all that stuff is a huge help. Rating and reviewing the podcast also helps us on Spotify. It's a quick, easy click. Do that for us if you have time. And until next time, Sam, and until I see you on Friday, go Hokies.
Go Hokies.